Sunday, Monday, happy days.
Tuesday,
Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
The weekend comes, we cycle hops, ready to race to you.
For fuck's sake.
These days are
This is what happens.
Happy
and free, those happy days.
Bit of a delay there.
When we're on different continents, aren't we?
Happy
This is the
delays.
return to... I'd rather have a bowl of...
Cocoa Pops.
Massive delay there. I'm in Vancouver making a film with face-off superstar Sir Nicolas Cage. Matt and G, you're in London. What the hell are you doing? What time is it? What do you feel?
It's it's a little later than we arranged to start this. I don't know whose fault that could be.
That's weird. What do you mean?
Fingers.
You've been held up? There's no point pointing them now because I'm here safely in the colonies in British
20
Columbia.
to 9 in the PM here in
Do you know
sunny London.
when you're in Vancouver, they've got plastic money and our Queen's all over it. It's difficult not
Plastic
to do a little.
money?
The money's made of plastic, Matt, and it's got the Queen on it. It's got plastic Her Majesty the Queen on it. It's got a see-through little window on it. So now when I ejaculate on her face, it's easily wiped off. Yeah? Oh dear, that's
What?
been
What do you mean
said
plastic?
in the colonies.
They're going
It's
to bring,
like-
they're gonna bring that over here. They're going to bring plastic money over here.
What?
Yeah.
No, it won't
Plastic
happen.
It's going to
money?
happen. It's already been passed. It's
What's the
gonna
point
happen.
of it? It can go through the wash.
Yeah. So it doesn't rip.
Ever since the Conservatives have won the election, all bets are off. Plastic money now. Michael Gove, Minister of Justice. Other things I can't continue to pretend to care about for another second. Not when the belly bounce phenomenon is peaking right out.
It's peaked.
Got any?
It's peaked.
Done.
Yeah, you've gone off belly bounce, have you, Matt?
Well, I just think we can't get better than the old what's his name? What was his
El
name?
Nordico.
El Nordico.
El Nordico.
God, how could I forget him belly bouncing us across the studio? That's where you come out on a joke.
Yeah, that
Come out on a
does
big laugh.
seem like a natural thing. But what it is, Matt, now I don't want to let the genie out of the bottle here, but I for the first time, a matter of days ago, was getting out of a car and a man sort of almost nervously, like in the same way I imagine a French resistance fighter may wink across a promenade at another French resistance fighter. Perhaps it's the Champs-Elysees 1943, I don't know. He went, belly bounce, and I went, ling long ling. And the two of us were brothers in that moment, Matt. Brothers. Reaching across time. So I'm not
Okay.
saying we have to crowbar belly bounce into every episode sort of front and centre, but we could, once
It's
in a
out
while,
there. That's
you say
real
belly
life.
bounce.
That's in the real world, mate. That is. But in the show, it's an unspoken thing that we all know about. It's just
Well, can't we just speak it once in a while? Just go belly bounce, ling long ling. I mean, is that going to kill you?
no, all right. We've had this phone call anyway. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
I've just invented a new game surrounding the belly bounce phenomenon. In Starbucks, other tax offers are available. When they ask you for your name, I now say the word belly bounce. They write it on my cup.
Ooh.
Then when they call out it, the person at the end goes, belly bounce. I either respond with a ling long ling,
Still going.
or
Ling long ling.
with another ling long linger. Take care, guys. Bye.
Well, I quite like that. Is your concern
Well,
that
he's
the man
certainly
sounds...
upbeat, isn't he?
Do you think his next phone calls to the Samaritans? Is that your is that your concern there? Because I like him. Did he say his name? Do we know who he is? This mystery belly
No one
bounce
knows
phenomenon
who he
spreader.
was or where his body will be
Why?
found.
We
No,
can
we
only
probably could find out
suburbia.
his name.
Well, that is the level of research I've come to expect. It says. Oh no! So someone's entered it into an urban dictionary
Yeah,
in
the Urban
Australia of all
Dictionary.
countries.
No, that's it's
The
a
Urban
website.
Dictionary.
Yeah, it's called the Urban Dictionary. Pin is in there. Other things that have come from our show or shows past.
Pin, surely.
It's in there, yeah. Loads of things are in there. Loads of things that
Well,
you've... Bookie Wooks.
we're
probably in there.
urban pioneers of language.
Yeah, of course we are. But I
that's-
don't like the description they've put in here. It sounds a bit one-sided on the part of the man who did it. Have you
Well,
got
it's
it in front of
certainly
you?
not an attempt. Yeah, it says the belly bounce definition: the act of buffeting a nosy old bitch away from your front garden with your sizable gut. The blow can be imparted with a forward thrust or a devastating side swipe. The manoeuvre necessitates the cry belly bounce, and to any other party who hears it, it must must respond with ling long ling. Now, what I think is worth mentioning at this point is that the original belly bounce was subject to a criminal proceeding in which the perpetrator of the belly bounce was found guilty of actual bodily harm.
I know.
So making him a hero in an Urban Dictionary and a podcast,
And
two very
reducing
modern phenomena.
the victim of a violent assault to a nosy old bitch.
I mean, how would it be
It's
if we
shaky
were to
ground.
regard very shaky ground, and not just because of the belly bouncing taking place immediately above it? If you were to look at other victims of similar crimes, like, I don't know, in Cambodia as nosy old bitches, or the Ripper victims as nosy old bitches, you can't dismiss these human beings with very real problems as simple as nosy old bitches, can you, Matt?
No, you can't. I think that's another reason to park it there.
Yeah.
Well, I just think once in a while saying belly bounce isn't going to kill us. I mean, you're always doing that. I mean, the next thing I hear, you probably won't want to continue with the fame game, Ding Dong, who's that knocking at your door?
Continue with. I'll tell you what I do want to continue with. The Durr classics, because we've had some real good classics come in. Do you want to hear some?
Yeah.
I do, but 1 second, because Ding Dong... Into it.
Listen to that. It's just an extract.
I can see you think you're some sort of new Chris Evans coming up with great content. I can hear the smugness in your voice. This isn't TFI Friday.
You
This
left the
isn't Don't
mic
Forget
when we
Your
were trying to
Toothbrush.
get the technical side working, and left me with a technician from Canada who said,
How do you get on with him?
well, I tried the Cocoa Pops line that we famously use when we're trying
What
to
did he
find
do?
out if there's a delay on a mic because you've gone to another country. Well, he went, okay, can you go? And I went, I'd rather have a bowl of... and expected him to say Cocoa Pops, even though he's in a
Thank you.
country where the advert wasn't on the telly.
You expected that I'd rather have a bowl of Cocoa Pops was a transcendent universal
I thought it was
language, like,
I thought it was a radio technician's phrase.
You thought it was like something that Joseph Campbell might have uncovered, that religions and folklore across the world all have universally, I'd rather have a bowl of Cocoa Pops, as common as the virgin birth or a baby being found in some bulrushes or a tablet being passed down on a mountaintop from some heavens. These universal themes found in Africa, Iceland, Japan, all over the world are accompanied today by I'd rather have a bowl of...
Cocoa Pops. See?
See, you know it, but also the listeners can hear that there is a slight delay. Now, look, before we get totally entrenched in the game that perhaps will one day be sweeping the nation now that Matt's let go of his derivative, lazy, stolen telephone neighbours game, but couldn't we, like, because I did have a famous person ding-dong knocking at my door. A little bit of time's passed now, so we can talk about the day that it was none other than former Prime Ministerial hopeful Ed Miliband ding-dong knocking at my door.
God,
What about
yeah.
that, turning up in a bulletproof car? How do you feel about that?
He turned up in a
an episode
bulletproof
of The
car?
Thick of It. His car was bulletproof. His campaign was not.
How do you feel about ruining his chances of being PM?
I don't think I can take all the credit, but the word that immediately springs to mind is proud, that I can dabble in elections and the outcome of significant national events with maybe not the effect I was intending, but an effect. You know, like how some children will show off because negative attention is better than no attention at all.
Yes.
Well, I was one of those children, obviously.
Oh, you weren't, were you?
Hey, that didn't sound convincing, did it now?
And one of those adults.
So, come on, let's hear some of your Matt Morgan spiteful views on old Russ dabbling in the election. Got any?
No, I thought it was... When I watched the interview, I thought, oh, yeah, this is good. And it's good of Miliband to do it. And I thought it was, it was an all right thing to do. I think it probably had no... I think, there's a bigger picture going on than, him going around your house and stuff. I think...
Yeah, like the SNP.
Yeah, well, all that stuff. I mean, let's not get into politics, but,
Let's not get into it.
You
or shall we
dabbled,
get right
you
into
stuck
it?
your toe in the water. What would you say now? A bit boring? Probably quite hard to actually have any
When I
change.
woke up next morning, and there was honestly a 5-second period. It said Conservatives win general election by landslide, and I thought, oh no, I've ruined a country. Like when I ruined a BBC once. And then I just thought, hold on, this can't be my fault. And I just felt this tremendous wave of trickster relief come over me and sort of like giggled to myself and pranced up onto my roof. And ever since then, I felt just like, it's like really reaffirmed my ludic view. Ludic as in bringing joy, mischief, mirth and mayhem. Like, that is what I feel I'm here to do. Like, not
by
taking
giving us a
seriously.
Conservative government?
Wow, what joy.
Riddle me this!
Give the people what they want. It's a 24-hour party.
Human rights, you say? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Spare bedroom?
Bloody well
Not on your
pops.
Nelly.
Ding, ding, ding! And with one wand of mine, jingle stick, off we go to another 5 years of poverty. I'm like Mr. Claypole pranking around.
What were you doing with that bottle of water in your in that
Yeah, swigging
interview?
it.
Yeah, like a bloody pirate
Like
with a bottle
Captain
of rum.
Morgan.
You'd ask a
Swigging
question,
it,
then when
just a little bit.
when he was answering
wrong
the
with
question,
my swigging?
It was over the top. Normally, on sort of they have water in front of them on those sort of shows, don't they? When people are being interviewed, I think it's just set dressing, really.
Yeah.
But you had a huge bottle of water that looked sort of medieval. And you get
It was a
huge
flagon.
swings. Go, yeah. So what do you think about that? And then while he was answering the question, I couldn't even hear what he was saying. This is why I think he lost the election. Because next to him there was a pirate drinking water. Like, sorry, I didn't hear a word of that.
Shiver me timbers, Miliband, me old sea dog. Arr! You'll come up with some better policies or you'll walk the plank, my lad. Yeah, it was a bit, it was stupid of me to have done that. But, like, that is my normal behaviour. And a lot of my normal behaviour, when put on television, does look stupid. I'll be the first to admit it.
It's funny that
Did
he's
you
now
see-
just a bloke on holiday in Ibiza, isn't it?
Yeah.
They all resign.
Yes.
But it's amazing that political leaders with all that, like, I believe this and I'm going to do this and that. Oh no, we're losing. I resign. Imagine people resign from their
what-
jobs that easily in other jobs.
Well, I did once. I clapped BBC 2 once, or Radio 2. Oh, broken, ta-da! I'll tell you the other thing that I thought was interesting is when you see them give their resignation speeches, it's like their humanity is returned to them. Like, you know, sort of, they seem like normal blokes again. It reminds me of that adage about war. Like, war is this violent conflict where people throw lives and explosives at each other, and the one that comes to their senses first loses. You know, and it's sort of like that. By losing the election, they go, oh, all right, bloody hell, that was a bit nuts. Thanks everyone for trying to help. And then, like, David Cameron goes and like just gives that speech on the, you know, on the steps of Number 10, and he can continue the illusion. Like the stuff that David Cameron was saying, if it was all true, you'd think, oh, this is going to be actually quite good. He's like, all children will have the opportunity. Anyone who wants to work will be able to work. This is one Britain with a chance for everyone. And you sort of think, you're just used to the idea that nothing means anything. Like, and I felt the same thing actually. Like, I sort of, this is a bigger problem than democratic politics. This is, I mean, forgive me for a